Okay, I'm going to start just showing you how Tableau Reader works. In File, I can open a file directory. Recent files are listed here. Open a workbook, kind of the same thing. Takes me out to look at one. Cores, this is basically the one I'm working at. This shows me the last one I've done, or one that I've used quite a bit, so I can come here and I just opened it up. And it takes it to the last page that I used, which is for the container on barge study, which is by the file name in Tableau Reader, which is an orange icon. It says for state to state meeting briefs, briefing COF. So I go to select geography. This is what drives everything in this data set. This root directional field is a filter that applies to everything throughout the entire network. So from here, I go to flows. Again, this is going to look at flows. Some of these are not necessarily going to be relevant at this point in time because it's got so much information. What do you do with all of the information, all the state-to-state maritime flows and foreign flows? Here's the domestic foreign breakdown. We have top commodities. We have exports, which is an export is an outbound shipment. So, the origin name. So exports come from an origin. And we have the same thing. We have destination imports. We have exports here. This is a chart showing both of these. I just select this one off and it shows all the values. This is what percentage is import or domestic. This is the same thing here. Of course, we have a map of exports. Again, the same thing. We have the origin state, where they're going to. We have a trend in export trade. We have a map of imports. We have trade flows. And then we have kind of all trade. So kind of a briefing book. And then this was the one that I did. Now you notice it's going to say all null one because this is only domestic. There's no foreign in there. The one means that these are trade lanes that do not have. When I built the data set, it only had trade lanes that had an origin or destination with an ITTS member state. So that's one of the things about Reader is you can limit what's available, what's not available, based on how it's designed. So there might be things you say, I wish this had been done, but in Tableau Reader you don't have that luxury. You have to give it to Tableau Desktop to do that. So again, we're coming back to our original one. We're going to look at our route. We're going to say we just want to look at Virginia, so we go to select all. First of all, we're going to close everything out. We're going to do Virginia. Again, remember I talked about there's no comma here. There's no comma. It's going to be Virginia, comma, which is an outbound shipment, or Virginia, comma, Virginia, which is an inbound shipment. So I'm going to select all. So I'm just going to come here, select everything, hit one of the boxes, and it's all done. And you can see it's changed here. This route direction, again, is the same thing through all the files. So I can come here and say, I don't want to look at all of these years. I only want to look at the last few. So I can come here. I'll select both of these. I'm going to exclude them. So now I have this period of time. I want to filter, so I go here. So do a sort based on 2015. I don't want to take the top 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from here, I select these. I'm going to keep only. And you'll notice that all of my data sets are changed. So this only shows those 10. The domestic, the exports get smaller because there's just fewer comparisons. So the chart makes a little bit more sense. The trade breakout, the map changes, of course. Of course, the map changes because we only have basically trade in this area. And of course, the tonnage information shows up. But the interesting thing is on this master filter, notice how Virginia is still here because it's showing as a filter, but I have limited all these other ones. So if I just select on any of these unshaded boxes, boom, now I have Virginia. Now everything is here again. Everything is redone. So I can make my comparisons. Now, if I only wanted to zoom in, of course, we got our options. We can zoom out, we can zoom in, or we can do this box, and we're just going to highlight that box. It doesn't exclude that, it just shows us the box. And we can always grab with this button right here and just move it. So we can keep the same geography and move it. So there's a lot of functionality. I can take this and I can copy it to a program. I can export the image or data, whatever, but I cannot save it. Revert to save is actually revert to the version that you had, that you received. So let's say you're getting here and you start getting crazy and you have all these charts that are open, you have no idea where you're at. So you go back to revert to save, it takes you back to where everything was as if you had never done any work. So it's a nice feature to have. And of course you can print out pages, print out the PDFs. So that's using the core data set with Tableau Reader.